Good evening. You're seeing this in the wrong direction, um, portrait instead of landscape, because I'm taking this video with my cell phone because I'm so amused with myself that I felt as though I should record this and memorialize my amusement while I was still amused. So I've been sitting here all evening doing just small little putsy things. Um, I had a friend of mine actually, whom I hired to come in yesterday and deep clean my house. Uh, Even though I have a tiny house, it gets dirty. I also live in a park, an actual park, not just an RV park, but an actual park. There are trees and dirt everywhere, and it had not been really properly cleaned in a couple years, maybe. I'm not really sure. I never video myself, so I don't really know where I'm supposed to look. So if I keep looking away, that's why. I'm doing my best. I'm just so amused that I wanted to share it with you. So, um, Lauren came last night or yesterday afternoon, and she cleaned uh, so thoroughly. We still have a lot of catching up to do before it's really totally deep cleaned. As you can see, I have a new gallery wall. So the bottom, you will get an explanation of this in a minute. But the bottom row here is the uh, floor of the dropped loft. So this loft was my writing room originally, and down here where my sitting room now is was a built-in bed cubby, which is why it didn't matter that it was a drop loft. But at any rate, it's not that way anymore. There's a sitting room here, which is quite cozy. You have to duck to go in it. This height is about 52 inches, so whatever, 4.5 feet, something like that. But once you get in, the chairs are low, so there's plenty of headroom. But anyway, this is the floor of the edge of the loft. This There used to be a bookshelf here, bookcase rather, which is against the east wall now. So this was open, and Michelle Burke, you all know who Michelle Burke is. You haven't forgotten, right? She built a piece, the middle piece, where you see the bigger pictures, which is at either end, at this end and at the other end, has brackets on it. So that piece actually lifts off, which is useful if you want to move things in and out. And then this is the loft rail. That dark rail is the original knotty pine from my traditional 100-year-old house in Kansas City. So anyway, that's what you're seeing behind me. But since the house was clean, I was motivated to do some more chores. And the last time I cleaned, I moved some things around in the cabinets over the laundry unit, and I put the towels in the shelf right above the laundry unit, and I didn't like the way they looked, so I had a piece of fabric just sort of hung over it, um, which was a remnant from the fabric that I used to make the curtain over my big cabinet when I took my stove out. I don't have a sewing machine. I bought a little sewing machine to make that other curtain, and I gave it away just because I give everything away. That's just kind of how I am. I knew I wouldn't use it. I knew someone that needed a sewing machine that couldn't afford to buy one, so I gave her my sewing machine. So I found a remnant of that same material The stripes on the curtain over the cabinet are vertical, and the remnant was not big enough to make vertical stripes on the what's now the towel cabinet, but it was plenty big enough to make horizontal stripes. So that's what I did. But I remember I gave away my sewing machine, so I couldn't sew it. So I decided to use fabric glue, and this is why a couple of reasons I'm amused, but you're going to love this. So I bought this fabric glue. See this nice bottle has a nice little tip on it. And in case you're Elizabeth Unger Carlisle, notice the bandit on the finger, which I cut with my new bread knife. So it came, and it has this nice tip, and you would think that that would be perfect for pouring glue out. And yet, it does not open. There's no way to open this. So it came with a spatula. So all you have to do is take the cap off and turn the bottle upside down and dig glue out with the spatula. I almost bought expensive fabric glue, and I thought, what? I have this theory that whatever you're buying, glue, shampoo, olive oil, whatever you're buying, there's a big vat of it somewhere, and they conveyor belt in bottles like this one, and if it's an expensive bottle, it has the expensive fancy label, but it all gets the same product. That's my theory. So I've always had that theory for my entire adult life. So I thought, why should I buy a $15 bottle of fabric glue when I can buy a $6 bottle of fabric glue? Well, now I know why. Because when you buy that, the top doesn't open, and you have to turn it upside down and dig out the glue with the spatula. And I'm assuming I can clean this, but I don't know yet. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the curtain, which I think I might have glued to the table. Oh, I did. I glued it to no, not quite. So anyway, this is the curtain. So that's the material. This literally was a remnant from the curtain material that I made for the big cupboard. And all I did was, trim the excess off and glue it down. And then I have a curtain rod, and I have curtain hooks, and I actually don't have enough curtain hooks, but it's not, my intention is not to slide it, but just to, get the towels out. I just want to cover up the towels and sheets because they look tacky. So anyway, that's what I made, a curtain with the world's cheapest fabric glue. Don't buy this fabric glue. Fabric glue, I don't even know if it has a brand. It's called Breathe Leader, and it has little glasses, a guy with glasses. You probably can't see it, but it's cheap. I mean, it glued, but the bottle is cheap. And then there's one other thing that made me laugh tonight that is the real reason I decided to record a little 10-minute video, and here it is. So those of us who I know I'm going to be vertical, but you're just going to have to live with it. Those of us who live alone and don't have a lot of human beings around all the time, we tend to play something when we're doing chores like this. I don't play music because The only kind of music I really like is music where you can understand the lyrics. And if I'm listening to the lyrics, I can't focus on what I'm doing. And somehow watching videos doesn't pose the same impediment. They're kind of like having TV in the background. You don't really care what they're saying. They're just company. I think there's a Janis Ian song like that. And for a dime, I can talk to God, dial a prayer. Are you there? Do you care? Remember that song? Anyway, so I was playing a video of, I follow some influencers who do home decorating. And so because I actually follow some, you get a lot of suggestions for other such YouTubers. And so I just pressed the first one that came, and it was somebody decorating their studio apartment. And I actually learn a lot from decorating studio apartments because living in a tiny house is very similar to living in a studio. And the tricks that they use, I can often use. The only difference is they're usually 30-somethings, which means they buy a lot of IKEA furniture, and I don't like MDF furniture. But the concepts are the same, the organizational tips. So I was watching this young woman, 30-something woman from Nepal, actually living in New York, build a bed, and it took her, I think, like 8 hours one day, and then she had to finish it the next day. And the next day when she was finishing it, she said, she's doing her vlog video, and she said, it probably would have been a lot easier to put this bed together if I had had help. And this morning when I was going to work, my neighbor said to me, I saw you got some heavy boxes delivered. Do you need help putting something together? And the young woman continued and said, I told her no, I could do it. Thank you, though. And she said, later I got here and I realized I still had 3 more hours of work. And I said to myself, I'm always complaining that there's no community here in the United States, and then somebody offers me help, and I reject it. So when she made that observation, I thought, sounds familiar. I'm not from Nepal, but I am from Kansas City, living in California. And often, I do complain that I miss my friends at home, even though I have a good community here. And when they offer help, I often turn it down. So I learned a lesson from a 30-something woman from Nepal living in New York. And she isn't someone I follow, so I'll probably never find her video again. But there you have it. I made a curtain with fabric glue, and I learned a lesson from a 30-something-year-old YouTube influencer from Nepal. So I hope you've enjoyed this funny video. Thank you for spending 13 and a half minutes of my tiny life with me here in Angel's Haven. I'll see you next time.